Hello, this is Adrian Garcia.
And this is Carolina Vela.
This is the first special broadcast for Texas A&M San Antonio, made by the students and for the students.
Bienvenidos al primer noticiero bilingüe de Texas A&M San Antonio hecho por estudiantes para estudiantes. Now that Christmas has arrived, the city is laying out their holiday directions in celebration of the season that everyone loves.
Definitely, lights are everywhere. Rebecca Salinas has the story.
Well, San Antonio, the holidays are finally here. Large Christmas trees and bright lights are gracing every inch of the city, even here at Texas A&M San Antonio. With Christmas makeovers happening all around us, these decorations prove that everything really is bigger in Texas.
2, 1, lights on!
The university flipped a switch on its iconic Central Academic Building just days before Thanksgiving with students, employees, and the Southside community. The tradition started 2 years ago, and officials say their goal is for the event to get bigger and bigger as the university grows.
And we want the students to enjoy this kind of thing. I mean, a lot of universities are doing this, a lot of businesses do this. It's almost kind of like when the Spurs are at the championship, it gets people excited, the morale goes up. So it's kind of the same thing.
The rest of the city waited until after Thanksgiving to light the Alamo Plaza and Riverwalk, bringing in about 100,000 people for the annual HEB tree lighting ceremony and Ford Holiday River Parade. The tree's theme this year nods to the newly renovated Tobin Center. It contains about 10,000 lights which blink to the tunes of the San Antonio Symphony. It took crews about a week to decorate the giant.
It's actually inviting, so it makes you want to come back. Especially here, everybody is so involved. You see so many families practicing the same thing. It just makes you feel great because it's something really wonderful.
I know he's a dad, and he wants to just have his daughter be at holiday tradition type things.
And then also for memories for her, so she can be able to see this and just remember that. So, and then because we're able to, I don't want to take life for granted.
These families say Christmas is more than just presents under the tree. It is about tradition and culture that they wish to pass down to generations to come. Reporting from the South Side, Rebecca Salinas.
Thank you, Rebecca. That was beautiful.
It really was. The holidays are coming and people are ready to feast with their families.
Desiree Moreno has more with the story.
What's a family get together without food for the season? Since Christmas and New Year are just around the corner, some people look forward to eating traditional homemade dishes and desserts. However, surprisingly, several would rather eat out than eat at home. They don't mind what's served on their plate, as long as they are with their families. That's what's most important to them. Food may symbolize a special meaning of time, family, and friends.
That looks really good, especially that pecan pie,
I
right?
know, I want that.
Well, if you're eating at home for Christmas or outside, with all these meals, you have to find a way to stay fit.
That's true, because we really do not pay attention to what we eat. Zulema Garcia has some tips for all of us.
Hay que aceptarlo. Durante estas fechas tendemos a comer un poquito de más y a la vez aumentar unas libritas. Pero ¿qué se puede hacer para mantenerse en forma y disfrutar de todos estos platillos navideños? Estudiantes de la Universidad de Texas A&M en San Antonio, como Benito Baeza, nos cuenta que piensa comer más en casa para mantenerse en forma.
I think really home cooked meals and
Yo creo que comer comida casera y tratar de comer más orgánico es la mejor manera.
Y estudiantes como Annette, que prefieren otros métodos como los retos para bajar de peso.
Seguir haciendo ejercicio durante todo el mes y continuar así hasta que el reto termine y tratar de comer saludable.
La nutrióloga Cecilia Maycock dice que especialmente estas fechas es cuando la gente se debe de cuidar más, pero es cuando menos lo hacen. Ella nos da algunas recomendaciones.
Empezar a reemplazar las comidas altas en calorías con cosas más saludables, comer tu proteína, tu jamón, tu pavo y al final una probadita de algo que tengas ganas.
Aparte de comer saludable, los expertos también recomiendan mantenerse activo por lo menos 45 minutos, que equivale a quemar 300 calorías aproximadamente.
Siempre el ejercicio es indispensable. Si no lo quieres hacer todos los días, lo puedes hacer 3 veces por semana.
Y es así como usted puede mantenerse saludable y verse bien a la vez durante estas fechas sin ningún remordimiento. Reportando, Zulema García, regreso con ustedes.
Thank you, Zulema, for those amazing tips. And now, if you are looking for Christmas gifts for coworkers, sometimes it's kind of difficult to know what they would like. Now take a look at some ideas that may help you during these holidays. Regalar a compañeros de la oficina es complicado porque se tiene que mantener estrictamente una relación de trabajo que hace más difícil saber cuáles son sus gustos.
Sí se me hace un poco difícil porque, claro, sí tengo unas amistades aquí en el trabajo y pues los conozco personalmente y eso es muy fácil, pero la mayoría no los conozco muy bien y se me hace difícil poder saber cuáles son sus gustos.
Ocasionalmente se organiza un intercambio de regalo con un límite de gasto y si es así, de acuerdo con USA Today, estos son los 10 obsequios más populares. Un portarretrato con una linda fotografía, un disco con canciones navideñas o alguna decoración para el escritorio son bonitos detalles y fáciles de conseguir. Un buen regalo para compañeros de trabajo que no sea tan personal puede ser como una taza que van a usar, no es tan caro, es económico y a la vez tienen usos. Otra idea serían chocolates con decoraciones navideñas y canastas con ricas botanas para disfrutar.
Yo diría que un buen regalo para un compañero de trabajo sería algo que podemos usar en la oficina, por ejemplo, un marco para poner la foto, un mousepad, un calendario, a lo mejor tarjetas de regalo, unas gift cards, como para Starbucks o también de un restaurante para ir en la hora de lonche.
Y si quiere regalar algo que pueda usar en esta temporada de frío, una bufanda siempre es perfecta para toda ocasión.
After the break, do you know how the university is spending its funds? Find out after this.
Coming up on sports, find out how one professor is staying active. We'll be back after a short break.
Texas A&M San Antonio is not only a first-class education, but a community of empowerment.
Everything I am today is because of Texas A&M University San Antonio.
Texas A&M University San Antonio. It's more than a university, it's a family.
Texas A&M San Antonio.
Changing the landscape of San Antonio.
One building.
One student at a time.
With expert faculty. In-demand degrees. Small classes and no hassle parking.
Military embracing. Apply now.
And be a part of history.
Texas A&M San Antonio.
It's where dreams become reality.
There's been question about how our university's money is being spent. Students have spoken out about the topic, and we have Carla Salazar with the details. Carla?
Una estación local de televisión ha juzgado recientemente a la Universidad Texas A&M por sus gastos en construcción en lugar de educación.
El nuevo edificio, llamado Central Academic Building, abrió sus puertas el pasado 17 de septiembre. Ha causado mucha controversia ya que los gastos que se hicieron entre muebles y piezas de arte se valoraron en $70 millones. A pesar de las acusaciones, los alumnos mostraron su apoyo y conformidad a la universidad, al dinero implementado en su lugar de estudios.
Tienes que ponerle dinero antes que traigan los estudiantes. Si no tienes lugar donde meterlos, no hay donde educarlos.
Education is important, but you know, you got to have the buildings, the right resources to educate students.
La oficina de presidencia está valuada en más de $100,000 en muebles y cuenta con una extensa galería de arte donde hay pinturas de hasta $20,000.
Sí está ayudando más a San Antonio para más niños que vengan al colegio.
El impacto ha sido tan grande en el sur de la ciudad que es notable el crecimiento de la institución.
Es notable la diferencia que han hecho en esta vecindad. Por los edificios que han construido, le están llamando más la atención a la gente que venga y que se eduque.
You get nice buildings like this and you know, just keep expanding in order for the university to grow.
Los estudiantes han hablado y esperemos que su voz se escuche para gastos futuros. Carla Salazar, reportando desde el sur de San Antonio.
Thank you, Carla. Catalina, things are looking bright for the Hispanic population.
That's right. That's according to a recent study that shows how more Hispanics are keeping what they're earning. Good to know.
Yes, Carolina and Adrienne. This information is from Pew Research. In their study, it's clear that there's been a drop in the Latino poverty rate in recent years. Hispanics had the highest numbers during the recession in 2010, but now it's decreased. This study also shows that within the span of a year, about 1 million people left poverty. One major reason for the reduction, the increasing employment rate in this community, and the fact that they are also learning English. But Director of Education and Workforce for Family Services says that the push for education of men, and especially women, have contributed to the decline.
Young brown women really, turning the Latino customs on its head, to which they are very powerful. They are becoming more educated and part of the workforce as well.
Although the Hispanic poverty rate has gone down by 3%, it's the most prominent change seen in all ethnic groups within the last 10 years.
The Tobin Center has received a $100 million renovation, formerly known as the Municipal Auditorium. The renovation includes a convertible-like floor that actually converts into a flat surface hall that can seat up to about 1,700 different people. Outside, we actually have a Veterans Memorial that is dedicated to the veterans. And there is also a 600-seated outdoor amphitheater with a 30-foot permanent 30-foot video wall. This is Jesse performing at the Tobin Center for Performing Arts. There is also space-age looks, beautiful brown woods, San Antonio Symphony, and the San Antonio Orchestra actually performed there at the Soli Chamber Orchestra, and even the San Antonio Opera performed at the San Antonio Symphony. Back to you, Adrian.
Thank you, Jesse. And now let's send it over to sports, even though our school does not have much activity. Michael, what do you have for us?
All right, guys. Have you ever wondered what your professors do in their spare time?
Really? Do they have spare time?
Believe it or not, when they're not grading papers, they're keeping active. That's especially the case with Dr. John Smith, kinesiology chair at our university. He loves running, but years of running have taken a toll. So a friend suggested triathlons, allowing him to pull back on running by spending some time swimming and biking. While preparing for a triathlon earlier this year, Smith sustained a mysterious back injury affecting his left side and keeping him on the sidelines. The injury prevents Smith from running, so he tailors his workouts specifically to stay in shape for when he can return to the pavement.
Getting hurt being off as long has really disrupted my way of thinking and my attitude, and it's trying to keep myself from getting into a depressed state.
But here's the strange part. Months on from the injury, doctors have yet to diagnose it. For now, Smith is working with a physical therapist and is hopeful of competing again next summer. That must be stressful. Adrian, back to you.
Well, Texas A&M students juggle school, work, and family in order to complete their education. During the final exams, many are finding new methods of coping with these demands. You'd be surprised with what they got their paws on.
This is at the MATLAB building at A&M. Students are gathering with puppies, as you see on screen. This is a therapy session for stressed students, which is, I think it's amazing. What do you think, Adrian?
I think it's great. The dogs, they seem to help the students get out of the stressful environment as far as going with studies and prepping for all their final exams. I think it's a great thing that they're doing for all the students here at Texas A&M San Antonio.
Of course, and to find out more about the therapy dogs, you can visit therapyanimalsa.org. That is all from us right now.
This is Adrian Garcia.
This is Carolina Vela. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Good night.